Right, so Gears of War 4 is coming out on October 11th, which is tomorrow as of recording this. Gears of War 4 Ultimate Edition, which includes the base game and the Season Pass, and along with other add-ons for multiplayer, came out on October the 7th, which is on a Friday. So over the weekend, I streamed the entire game, or at least the entire campaign. It took me about 2 streams to complete it, which in total racked up to around 10 hours in total. 10 hours, I'd say. So, first of all, this is an early impressions, and this is not a full-length review because I'm not really interested in doing full-length reviews. But this is what I've been, this is early impressions, what I think of the game so far before the official launch date, which is tomorrow. So, first of all, we'll talk about campaign. So, campaign is about 10 hours to beat on hardcore difficulty with 2 players. I imagine it would take longer if you were solo or on a higher difficulty. So, in my opinion, the campaign is a solid 10 out of 10. It's like right next to Gears of War 2. In my eyes, like Gears of War 2 was a solid 10 out of 10 as well. I mean, I put it as an 11 out of 10 if it was possible, but for now it's a 10 out of 10. So, other than the game being 10 out of 10, like Gears of War 4 being 10 out of 10, the gameplay feels fluid and feels very familiar. I mean, it's not like I ever left Gears of War. It was it took me like a span of like 30 seconds, or like even less than that, like 15 seconds to like get used to the controls again. And as many of you know, the campaign is at 30 FPS at 1080. The multiplayer is 60 FPS, and I believe at 1080, but I'm not entirely sure on that. The learning curve and the movement system and the active reload system is still present. As for the story in Gears of War 4, the story was compelling, so this is obviously going to aim towards no spoilers, but I'm not really going to spoil anything, but the ending caught me by surprise. I mean, there's lots of controversy going on right now. But I personally liked it. Some people didn't like it, some people hated it, some people loved it, some people, liked it. Like, I'm in the positive side when it comes to things. The ending caught me by surprise. Alright, so the story of the game, it was emotional. I mean, they didn't really specify what happens in certain characters and stuff, but the way they told the story was very touching and very emotional to me. It connected me to like a younger version of myself, really, because I remember when I picked up Gears of War, the first one on the Xbox, and it was my first official Xbox 360 game back when it came out, like in 2006 of November. And the game felt like coming to see an old friend. And as for the story, no part of it felt dragged out to me. I mean, it was very well paced, very well balanced in terms of action and narrative, and there was no break in between. There was like no part that felt dragging. I mean, it was very fun and refreshing to play. Alright, so on the multiplayer aspect, I mean, the multiplayer is tough but rewarding, and it makes you feel like a badass once you master the movement system and the active reload system. I mean, there's lots of mechanics that go into the multiplayer aspect part of it, where players that are skilled, like the learning curve is that it's very steep, because either you join in and you go 0-17, or you play and you go my best game so far was it was 18-9. It was just solid 2 KD. Which was fine for me, but that was my best game. My average games, I went on 10-8, or even 8 kills and 10 deaths. I mean, I'm not really particularly good at multiplayer, but I get my ass kicked. I get outplayed by people who know the movement system. People outmaneuvered me. People outgunned me, and to me that puts a lot of pressure on me as a player, but at the same time it feels so rewarding once I finally counter that. Nowadays in multiplayer, whoever you see first, whoever sees each other first wins the gun battle. Whoever shoots first wins the gun battle. In Gears of War 4, that's not the case, because if you see someone first, you're not gonna kill them automatically, because they can either out maneuver you, or they can outgun you, or they can just hop all over the goddamn place and kill you in 2 shots. As for the maps are top-notch and well-structured in my opinion, and they look visually appealing, very well done on the maps. Of course, there's some bad stuff in all the good, there has to be bad. So the current bad thing right now is the currency system. Basically, you play and you get 5 credits, 5 to 8 credits per game, which which wouldn't be bad if the packs you open were like 10 times less, they cost 10 times less, because the normal pack is called the operations pack. It's just a normal like supply drop basically. It's a common supply drop. That costs 10,000, not 10,000. I'm sorry, 1,000 credits. That'll take you about like 100 matches. With like it'd be 200 matches just to grind for a basic one, and double that, you get the elite pack, which is 2,000 credits. No, it's 4,000 credits actually. I'm wrong again. So there's a lot of grind to it, and as you level up, you get 500 credits for every like 10 levels or so. It's just unlocking packs to get cosmetics or bounties for multiplayer that get you more XP, that get you more credits in some cases. Right now, that's a really bad thing because they're heading in the wrong direction for multiplayer, because there's no reward in multiplayer. I mean, other than like the satisfaction of killing someone or out gunning someone or out maneuvering someone, there's no physical reward that we can have to show off like, hey, I played this game for this amount of time, to to showcase to people, like just to say and show like people like, yeah, I played this game for long enough. Like I'm not just like a simple Joe who played this game and picked it up yesterday. Basically what I'm trying to say is that my levels show the other players that I played this game long enough to unlock this particular character. But really, the currency system takes that all away, because you grind, and you just unlock a pack for a chance to get that character that you want. A chance. So as of right now, you're playing for nothing. There's no reward, only chance. If you want to play your favorite character in multiplayer, you have to buy an elite pack, which is really dumb in my opinion, and really like, it's like taking like one step forward and 2 steps back. It's like a dumb move on their part. But I heard recently that that they're gonna update the currency, how much you earn after a match, because right now it's between 5 to 8, and they're trying to buff up the coins you earn in a match. And as for what you unlock, other than the characters that we all know and love, I mean, not all the characters are there, but like most of the characters we all know and love are just like expensive. Like there's like just hard to get. You either get duplicates and you salvage them to get credits, or you get a chance to win them basically. And the cosmetics are mediocre at best, because the other variants for characters are just really mediocre. Either you're covered in paint, which is really dumb and looks really out of place, which makes you stand out in any map whatsoever, because you're like covered in paint. And the other one is just basically like the Halloween costume. Like you have a skull, or in some cases a skeleton painted on you, and that's really dumb in my opinion. So cosmetics are mediocre at best. There's no reward and only chance. But other than that, it's a pretty good multiplayer so far. But yeah, so far the game is a solid 10 out of 10. I mean, I'm waiting to like play it more, maybe revisit this impressions video like 2 months from now, when the game is finally like feels normal. And yeah, so far the game is really good. If you're not a Gears of War fan or never played Gears of War 4, I highly recommend you start from the first one, because if you start Gears of War 4, story's going to be really confusing, the multiplayer is going to be tough, going 0 and 17. And basically that's it. Yeah. It's pretty good, man.